Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Oh, okay. Well, for one, I've been working on a lot of things and debating a lot of things because, when we have a nightmare of a political, just our political system is great, but what's going on within the political, spectrum of each department is so toxic right now. And then, I just found out, earlier today, that little Marjorie Taylor Greene, oh, that little girl is buying tons of Dodge Dog, whatever stock at thousands of dollars of it after she became one of the head board people or whatever in her committee and stuff. And I'm just like, oh, you're proving AOC's point and a few of the other legislators' points when it comes to being fair and being bought and being owned by the millionaires, billionaires, and the richest person in the world. So yeah, I'll probably get back to that several times because when it comes to, let's see, Lauren Boebert, who, yeah, recently walked out of that dinner with the disgusting guy from Michigan, Kid Rock. Ew. It's like part of me was just like, honey, are you that desperate? You that desperate? Like, I know, I mean, he's got money, but yeah, it's like I was never really a fan of his, and I always thought, yeah, I don't have anything nice to say about him, so I'm gonna keep going. And trust me, he wouldn't have anything nice to say about me because we are total opposites, and our viewpoints, and I actually have empathy and sympathy for humanity and different demographics of humanity. And yeah, okay, but also Marjorie Taylor Greene, and yeah, both of them with their men. Yeah, they both have really bad. Yeah, because I mean, I know I have a horrible dating life and everything, but both married, divorced, and rumors of cheating and just and groping and fondling, and but then they want to say that the LGBTQ community wants to but who fondled somebody up at a Beetlejuice musical with kids around? Yeah, yeah, and then whose child got at least arrested and some charges on them? Yeah. So, and oh, who's a grandmother and not even 40? Yeah, like I said, I have a lot of views. I've got a lot of views. But I say all of that because I'm kind of working on, it's like I'm going to be doing research and even looking up therapists and psychologists and things like that because it's like, who should you marry? And why should you marry? And I have come to a conclusion after, if you've been listening, you already know I have been through just one of the worst dating experiences known to mankind. And at the end of the day, though, even though my life is a mess because of being undiagnosed and doctors and family treating me like garbage for over 30 years, I realized that I have been working on the person that I would want to marry, and I have been working on being the person that I would want to be married to. And I've noticed a lot of people, especially when they marry young, they always talk about who they're going to change into, or that they changed, or the other person changed or developed, and everything like that. And part of it's maturity, and part of it is because they don't know who they want to be yet. And with a lot of me, I already knew that I wanted to be a writer, an author, a business owner. But again, family, literally threatened to be thrown out the house if I did that. But I realized that I kept dating the guys who wanted the woman that didn't have the degrees, that would have been too scared to start the business. I kept dating the guys who would have only wanted the basic, only wanted the decent version of me, and not the person that I want to evolve into, the person I've been working so hard to be. So, yeah, kind of a long tangent, but it kind of leads me on to my main subject, because one of the complications of dating, and especially like getting to know people and so-called friends, being a Black woman with a disability. And on today's episode, it's going to be focused kind of on the African American part, but I might do the disability one on a different day. So get ready, hold on tight. It's going to be an interesting ride. Because, like, with a lot of what I'm seeing Republicans do right now, and on another quick side note, they got so hurt with what happened on Black Jeopardy with SNL. I'm like, you guys don't see that's how we see you? You seriously don't know that's how we see you? Because no, it's like, oh, he wouldn't have gotten any of those questions right if it was the real. Or he would have been cheating, getting on Google and everything. But that's exactly like, because, okay, one example. Who didn't shake Kamala's hand? Vice Kamala should have been our president, Kamala's hand. Yeah, those are Republicans like husband, and he looked like he was disgusted. And like, I don't know if I took any of this. I think I might have taken a couple screenshots, because on Facebook when they showed it, Republicans are like, oh yeah, they don't have to shake her nasty hand. Oh yeah, it's like that Black woman. Oh, now she's going back where she belongs, and she's doing this, and oh, she's nasty anyways, or oh, she's a he, she. And they were just saying so many awful things, cheering on the fact that he refused to shake her hand because she's. And it's like, okay, that's in my opinion, my observation and stuff, because when I saw, like, yeah, I looked at as many viewpoints and as many like footages as possible. He was shaking everybody else's hand, all the white people's hands. Yeah, he was excited to shake all their hands, but when it came to the Black woman, no, he shook the white man's hands, he shook the white women's hands, but no, he was not going to shake a Black woman's hand. And see, that's how, like, a lot of society sees Black women. They don't want to shake our hand. They don't want to, like, give us props for it when we do accomplish something. And when we do accomplish something, they want to say we only got it because we're Black. Even though, like, oh, especially like if you looked at her resume. And like, the funny thing is, the orange guy, 47, he looked and saw her resume, and he was stuck on the McDonald's part. He was stuck on the McDonald's, and that's not even on her traditional resume. But she has worked there. She was in the picket lines, hoping and fighting for, like, society to have higher minimum wage so that they can be able to pay their rent, feed their kids, and live life. Because life shouldn't be like something to suffer through. And okay, one of my next videos, because yeah, I'm going to be taping a lot, I think, today. I'm not, or over the next couple days, but the Republicans are so-called pro-life. They're so-called pro-life, right? But they don't care if you suffer through that life. Once you're out of the womb, they don't care if you suffer. And if you suffer, they want to just blame you. They don't want to blame the system. They don't want to blame how the millionaires and billionaires do not care anything about you as long as you help them get richer. They don't care when you get sick. They don't care if you pass out on the floor. They don't care if you had a family member that passed away. They do not care. But then it's like when you go to the Christian side, the Republican side, and the Bible and everything like that, it's a sin to choose when you eliminate yourself. And so, I don't know, it's just, Like I like just thinking about some of the things going on right now, and like even the two kids that passed away in the vehicle, and the woman was asking for help, but no one would help her. No one had empathy for her until she lost two children. Until those children, it wasn't like it it wasn't on purpose, but it was in a way that was inhumane. It was out of her power, but still inhumane. Freezing in that car, their bodies freezing. And in my opinion, I mean, like I said, it wasn't their option. Like, okay, I want to use the term, but I'm like, no, yeah, because I'm going to have to backtrack on it. But it's crazy with how the environment is around us right now. And especially as a Black woman, when I saw what was going on with her, and then when they spoke to the dad, yeah, I'm gonna have another video on this subject as a whole. But when I saw them talk to the father, it's like, yeah, she said that. It's like she asked me if I wanted the kids. She didn't say, do I want the kids because we're homeless? Don't you want to see your kids? Your kids. Your kids. And especially like as a Black woman with my education and everything, now they want to bar or threaten not to give any federal aid to colleges or universities that have scholarships for Black people, for or graduations that are held for Black people. And like just so many like organizations and like, but they don't understand the need for it. How many times I have felt like the outsider. How many times I felt like I I wasn't going to be accepted, like it's especially job interviews or certain jobs that I've had. It's like trying to work like I've mentioned the real estate job before when I did marketing for this property management real estate company and everything. Ooh, they're a hot mess. But the way they treated me, and it's like the owner ended up getting cancer and stuff. And it was crazy because everyone else got to go to the owner's house, and the owner would train or help or provide guidance and everything like that to all the other employees. The owner himself hired me. I was supposed to like one-on-one do create marketing, like, and I was like, I was doing it on my own. I was trying my best. I was showing his wife. His wife wanted nothing to do with me, and they never invited me to like, and I know I was like one of the newer hires, but if you're gonna trust me to be in the office by myself, and also trust me when the brother slash brother-in-law doesn't come to work because he has too much of a hangover, and there's people who are coming in with the moving truck going to the house, and they have to like sign the paperwork and fill out everything. But a big old but too, because that real estate agent decided not to come, so I had to put that phone on speaker. And it was so funny and crazy because I remember at when we were done, the woman gave me a huge hug, and she was just like, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And it's like I think it was a week or two later, that couple dropped off a plant for me. They dropped a plant off for me. And they were just like, you were just so nice, so giving, so like, you do not know how much we appreciate your patience, because they put you in one of the trickiest situations, and you like, we could tell that you're a little nervous at first, because yeah, it's like I've never done it before. And literally it's like I had to listen, like I had to put my boss on speaker and follow the directions on paperwork I've never even seen before. And I wanted to make sure nothing was messed up, because this was going to be their house. This was a big deal. But I remember I was walking down the hall like the week after, so the brother-in-law was now back, and I found out he was pretty much a racist because he was just like, ah, why do you have to hire a black woman? Why do you have to hire her? He was like, I know there's some hot white women, or he didn't say white, but it's like he was just like, you really had to get a black one, and yeah, they don't know. I know, I like, yeah, they don't know that because I was filling out paperwork and I was excited because I found like I made a list, but there was one specific website that I was so excited on because I was like, "Ooh, let's get your guys like brand and everything on this page," and it's like more attention, more traction, or more traction and everything like that. So I wanted to show them, and but yeah, the owner was at the house dealing with cancer. But someone said that the wife and was in her brother's office or whatever. So I was going up to the door and I was getting ready to knock, but then that's when I heard it. Why do you even have to hire her? And he was just like, does she really fit in? And it's like well, his wife was kind of laughing about it. I don't even get how she talks like that. Yeah, if this ever gets back to her, yeah, you didn't know I was outside of the door when you were talking about me, when you're saying all those awful racist things about, yeah, I was right. And so when you wanted to lay me off, I mean, I was hurt, but I wasn't surprised. And then the boss was so called crying about it. It's your business. It's your business. Why are you crying? It's like this is something you wanted to do. So don't like no. And then after that, I found out that they only wanted to hire free interns and stuff. So, but yeah, I mentioned that in a couple other episodes, and I'll tell the full story another time. But and yeah, as you guys know, my YouTube channel is as messy as my life because a lot of a lot of what I talk about connects in different ways, and I remember working for another awful business, but it was one of those MLMs. It's like I was working for one company. It was door to door, but my mom threatened me that I better quit that job. But then after I quit that job, she laughed at me, telling me no one else was ever going to hire me. It's like, oh, you better start picking up your feet because you're never going to get a life. You're never going to be independent. You're going to be stuck here all your life. It's like you're never going to be like, she kept saying I was never going to be anything. And it's like, you raised me and you guys paid for my college. So how are you going to pay for my college and then tell me I was never going to be anything? What? It's like, did you only pay for my college for image? And that's for another episode, but trust me, I'm going to get to that. And so like yeah, look up the Gray Sheep Society episodes because yeah, I'm talking about I'm dragging everything, all the petty tea I'm pouring out. But I remember that it's like I talk the way I do, but sometimes like when I get really excited, happy and chipper, and like sometimes I'm more bubbly, and sometimes I'm just like, okay, yeah, let's sit down, let's talk, let's get real. Okay, okay. And there was one guy, I think he's from like Iowa or Idaho. I forgot which of like, but he's like in that area, or basically an area where you hardly find people that look like me. You know. But I remember like one time like one of the other well, not staff, but LML reps or whatever, they were saying some jokes and I was joking back and we started laughing. And then this guy ends up saying, ha ha ha, you're not talking so white anymore, are you? And I just remember like both of us stop and look at each other. And then we kind of look at him at the same time, like, what did you just say? And he was like, come on. It's like you started off talking so white. Now you're not talking white anymore. And so then remember, like, well, yeah, just catch up with my episodes because there was a other situation where as an example, because my ex-boyfriend, Mr. No Heart, his mother, oh, that no good, trifling, bigoted, racist, poorly educated woman, in my opinion, of course, in my opinion, she was saying that there's no more racism. I need to get over it. And I was just making something out of nothing and everything. And so then when I told her the story about when a police officer pulled me over and then he ended up fondling me and everything like that. And then it was all over my college graduation tassel. And then the other time when the police officer followed me all the way home for 15 minutes, over 15 minutes, this man followed me to my driveway, waited until I opened the garage door, and then he wanted to tell me that he had to pull me over because I don't look like I live where I live. And she told me, well, it's just because you're so pretty. He had to figure out a way to, pull you over. He had to get your attention somehow. That racist, no good bigot didn't like, no. It's like I'm so tired of when people try to blame racism on, oh, he just wanted to hit on you. What the stupidity is going on with you? How are you this dumb? I mean, I know our education system is, it needs work and everything. Is like, oh, but when I teach, I teach. I did my job. I was like, and that's why I'm working on the projects that I'm working on to help teachers and schools and stuff too. And when some people are going to be like, how are you going to do that? My MBA in teaching and learning with technology. That's how. Wink, wink. Let's keep going. But I just remember like she was just like, "Oh well, it wasn't racism," and I was like, "So why did he say I didn't look like I live where I live then?" Oh, he just didn't know what else to say. You caught him off guard. He could. Okay, so one day when your youngest daughter gets pulled over, like usually I say I wouldn't wish stuff on my worst enemy. And yes, your youngest daughter, she has been one of the only nice people within the family, but I think that's like the only way you're going to understand is if your precious youngest daughter gets treated like me. Oh, she got so upset. She got so the same woman who told me I only got into colleges because I'm black. She's like, and I know I say that example all the time, but it's just like whenever, like even when I mentioned that I was gonna be writing my novel, like the rough draft of it, it's like my ex. It's like because I don't think I told her. He told her, and but he made it as a joke, and she didn't know that she was on speaker. Ha 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 ha. Well, she's never gonna finish it. Ha 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 ha. Let's see how far she actually goes. And I remember he looked at me and like he was like, please don't say anything. Please don't say anything. Because she didn't know I was right in the room. She didn't know that she was on speaker. And I just remember kind of looking, and I put my face on my hands on the couch, leaning over, like, oh, let's see what other racist crap your mother's going to say. Why don't you? Let's continue listening to her. But oh, he shut her down. So he changed that subject. Oh, well, never mind. Oh yeah. So how are the other grandkids? How are they? What's going on? And I'm looking at him like, you stupid idiot. It's like she lives in the same city that you brag that you have never had to celebrate African American month. You brag that you never celebrated African American month, and you also like he just thinks he is so amazing because at his school they never taught African American history. And part of me was like, so that means you were like a racist in training and all, like, because I mean he's quote unquote a Democrat, but over the years it's like I think he, in all honesty, I think he lied to me. I think he said he was a Democrat just to be with a black woman. But then for some reason, he wanted to be in a long term relationship with a black woman. And so he had to keep that mask on for as long as possible. But he didn't know that over time I started seeing certain things, and especially with his family and the awful things they said about me, and how he would never have my back. He would never defend me. And also, the Martin Luther King Jr. situation, go back and listen to that episode. It was just, yeah, too many hints of I am never going to just, oh no. So, and oh, I'm going to be starting that series too of the over 40 reasons why I broke up with Mr. No Heart. Yeah, there's such a long list. But okay, I kind of talked about what I want to talk about, but there's more examples. So I'm probably going to have a full on, because people don't know the importance of why black women and black people need their space, their safe space. And yes, black people and black women. And it's like those are two different things. Because even when it comes to when black women get pregnant and or black women and our health, either the like just with our menstrual or with puberty or skincare, hair care, and things like that, is like we need our comfort, we need our safe space as well. But and then within the full black community, it's like when it comes to the racism that we face and the ridicule and people saying you couldn't have gotten this job, you can't be that smart, you can't do this, or why are you trying that, and you know how you guys always do this, and the judgment all day every day. So sometimes it's great when we can have a safe space when we don't have to fight the judgment and the war of ridicule, because that's basically what we go through on a daily basis. The war of you're not good enough, you're black, so you can't. It's like, even if you turn out amazing, as long as my white son is decent, he should be able to accomplish more than you just because of the color of his skin. That is what we go through on a daily basis. So being able to be in a safe space where we can come together and talk. But part of me wonders, is that why he's doing it, to make sure we can't come together and talk? The more he separates us, the more he can dominate. Is that what he is doing? Because that's what it feels like. That's what it looks like. That's what I think he is doing. But on that note, thank you so much for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human, and you're human too. And yeah, it's like I welcome all messages. If you agree or disagree, if you've been in any of those types of situations, let me know. But just know that you're amazing, you're wonderful, you're beautiful. Don't let anybody tell you what you can do just because of how you were born. Doesn't matter what your race is, doesn't matter of your disability, ability, doesn't matter on your sexuality. It doesn't at all. And but a certain group of people, the MAGA group of people, they couldn't stand that SNL skit. But they need to look in the mirror. Or maybe the fact that they were when they were looking at the TV set, it was like looking in the mirror, and they hated it so much. If you can't if you can't stand the image of yourself, maybe that means you need to change. Okay. Okay.